I knew that it would take place for a while. Why? I think that's probably just because Chicago. that's eh, that's a Tog special. I mean, it's well, I mean, it has been foreshadowing for a while, but hi everybody. Welcome back. We've taken hello Void. Um, we have taken a week off, and that was in part due to scheduling conflicts, but it actually worked out because a couple of us were busy and it was stressful, so it worked out nicely. Um, I'm still kind of in that mode, so forgive me if I'm a little scatterbrained this evening. I do have many things going on as well. Um, yeah, well, that's the goal. Um, in a loving way, always in a loving way. Um, but as we return from our episode last 2 weeks ago, you had absconded with Fee and attempted to get them to the safe house. What you were unaware of until the end of the evening was who you were actually carrying was the prince disguised. Um, and getting captured because of its high probability was somewhat the plan. After returning to the master's suites, you all discovered that Fee had been preparing something for the last few nights. The real Fee. A way to portal into where the potential other Tremere are being held and kept that have been taken throughout the city of Chicago. A problem that the prince has known about for a while, but has not really let on to anyone else, that Tremere and her city are being snatched up. Um, for obvious reasons, two of them being Justicars in the city. We find ourselves a couple of nights later, as Fee told you that the plan was in a couple of nights, Maggie would attempt to create the portal. And she said that she would essentially have a way to know if Maggie had accomplished her goal and would be able to transport you in. Now, as you have all had a couple of nights to prepare, um, we aren't going to jump straight into it. There is a little bit of preamble to the main event, you could say. First and foremost, I believe that one of you, as you wake this evening, and everybody gives me rouse checks. Yeah, I still remember that. Oh, wait, well, what those? No speakers.
Sucky night.
Yeah,
I,
before we get into talking about stuff, can I just use my herd,
you can,
my herd to knock
yes,
it back?
yes, sir. You may use the herd. The a couple of you, I mean, that have failed those checks, have access to food. Many of you do. However, as one of you awakes, you feel a certain pull toward a book. And you have this very strong desire to start flipping pages in that book as you have communicated with the entity over the last few nights. And you had made this covenant, this promise to do so. So, Ygritte, as we open on you, there is this moment where you you wake up, you feel that hunger kind of, uh, let's see, did you pass? You
I
did.
did.
You feel that hunger start to take you, but it subsides. Your baseline hunger, always there. It's something that you've grown accustomed to over the last few months. The urge that you feel subsequently, though, is the book, whether you set it on a desk or nightstand or however you have chosen, it it draws your attention in the room.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk over to the bookshelf where I have it shoved between 2 volumes of Twilight.
It loves that.
Oh,
His respect
exactly
is
why I did it.
palpable.
I've been nothing but sassy with this book the entire time. I'm not gonna change now. um, and as I pull it from the shelf, all right, well, I guess while I'm hurrying up and waiting, might as well make good on our promise. For this part, anyway.
As you go to open the book that has given you trouble before, it's remained sealed for the most part when you try and open it up. Though with your intention being to continue to read from this book, there is less resistance when you go to open it this time. The first 3 pages of the book seem to open rather easily, though they are burned and scorched and blacked out, providing very little context, if any at all. When you go to turn that 3rd page to the 4th, though, you hear in your mind, "Ah, I see that you've decided to fulfill our agreement."
Look, I may be a bitch about it, but gotta keep my promises.
Well, I do love that. Honesty is the best policy. Though reading the book requires commitment. I will assist you if you wish, but it will let you know the price if you persist.
There's another price.
The book itself, it's a means to an end.
Hmm.
It requires effort, commitment to learn from it in a way. The book and I are similar, not identical, if that makes sense. Should you wish to continue, I strongly suggest that you rely on any knowledge of the occult that you might have.
All right.
So,
I don't know much, but
in terms of mechanics, if you're attempting to flip the page, I'm first going to need a rouse check for you. It requires a rouse check of blood to do so.
lovely.
Now, I will also let you know that you will need to make an intelligence occult roll. Occult intelligence, I believe, is the way you have to pick it. If you would like to make additional rouse checks to reduce the difficulty, that is an option. The more blood that you're willing to sacrifice, the easier it will be to turn the page. But I will not tell you the amount of successes that you need. It is your own intuition that will guide you on this journey.
All right. Well, I succeeded that first one. I can risk another. So do one.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna stop there and go ahead and do Colt Intelligence. Oh, darn, I didn't put anything ahead of time, so I guess nothing pool size. And do you want me to just leave the difficulty at 2?
You can put the difficulty at
Okay.
2 or 0. That's
Alright. Yes. I am not very smart.
Oh.
Apparently.
Now that is
Yeah.
fun.
And
Oh,
that's
I
not-
don't like the sound of that at all.
That's not why you were hired.
Okay. The page does come free, but not without cost. For the purposes, I believe it's easier to just show everyone. But as you open the page,
Oh, that's 4. Okay.
you see a language that you don't recognize. You also take 4 points of superficial damage. That's halved,
Ooh.
so 2. And your hunger goes up to 3. However,
Glad.
in the time that it takes for you to register the pain, the pang of hunger in your chest, you look at these pages sprawled out before you, and they begin to move and vibrate. And your eyes attune to this language and these symbols, and you feel this odd sensation as your mind kind of reaches out and intertwines and connects with this book in this moment. You immediately learn, without any prior understanding of it, without any sort of experience investment, a blood sorcery that I will link to you.
Go for it.
Ooh.
But this is just a permanent thing that you have access to now.
Book. Power.
Book power, indeed.
See. What did I get?
And then these are the rolls that you need to make when you do it. Or that are involved.
Well, that's a face. All right.
Neat.
So, hungrier and a little damaged, aren't we all? You read this page. Now that you have absorbed this knowledge, you look down at the page, page 4, and it is like the pages before it. Charred, blackened, devoid of any symbol that you could discern. but the knowledge is seared within you, leaving its everlasting imprint on your psyche. The voice once again creeps into your mind. Well, if I were you, I'd probably do a little more research before the next page turning.
Yeah, probably.
Though I'm impressed that you didn't go mad.
Look, buddy, like I said, I'm a millennial. I'm already pretty damaged.
Yes, I can tell.
Mad is just a Tuesday.
But it's only Monday.
Fair.
Nevertheless, I have a general idea of what you are planning for the evening. We may have opportunities to discuss further.
Yeah.
No response. Seems to have quieted down.
I'm gonna close the book. I'm gonna walk back over to the bookshelf. Not gonna put it in between the two copies of Twilight this time.
Ah,
50 Shades of Grey.
that's a better option than you realize. So,
I don't know. I'd probably put it between Warhammer books if it gave me blood sorcery.
the evening, though, for you, Egret, is about an hour in after all said and done. The time seems to have, your perception of it at least, a little skewed. For the rest of you, what you doing?
If I find a snack,
I believe that you easily can. With just the one hunger, it's pretty easy to sate your palate. Egret, as a note, the hunger that you feel this night potentially doesn't go below 2, despite how much you drink. Just as a note.
All right.
Fun.
Shoot. Hold on. Before I ask. Okay, to heal superficial damage, is it just a rouse check or
I believe so. Yeah. I believe. I'm gonna flip this over. Yeah. So, depending on whatever your generation is, you spend you do a rouse check and you heal however much it says on your mend amount on the reverse side of your character sheet. So it's either 2 or 1.
one superficial? Yeah. Okay. So if it's okay with you, storyteller, I'm going to do a rouse check. At least get down one of those, because we're potentially going into a fight.
Sure.
Ouch! Shouldn't have done that.
It's all just pain. Today is all just pain.
It's
My prediction. Pain.
you know. The joys of reading. Take a look. It's in a book.
Reading Rainbow.
Don't you make me break
Brought
that
to you
up.
today, bud.
So, as the rest of you awaken, while this is potentially going on with Egret, how do you spend the first little bit of your evening? Let's start with, eeny, meeny, mercy. Let's start with you.
I like how that went. Eeny, meeny, miny, you.
You. Yeah. So Mercy probably is staying at the gallery to kind of keep up the outward pretense, right?
hmm
Um, and her morning or I suppose evening routine would be to wake up and see if she's heard anything from Graham.
From Graham.
Yeah.
That is a conundrum. You still have the phone that he provided
Mhm.
you, correct? The
Yeah.
newer
And he said
one.
he would be in touch. Correct.
He did say that he would be in touch. You do not currently have any missed calls, missed messages, or anything sitting on your phone from either Graham or the insurance company that you've come to understand could potentially be a way for them to contact you.
Right.
You do, however, as you are staying at the gallery,
Mhm.
have you have people there all hours of the night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do they know that you're there? Like if somebody came for you, drop something off, do anything like that?
Yeah, I would say that probably at least one of them would be aware of where if I was there or not for the evening.
Okay. A little after you wake up, there's one of your people comes to get you or comes to find you and says, um, "Hey, there's a woman here asking to talk to you."
Um, okay, what does she look like? Did she say who? Give you a name or anything?
She said she was a friend of yours. She's kind of, you know, yay high, pale, black hair, red gloves.
Ah, yes. Oh, red gloves. Okay. Yeah. To the private rooms, please. Have her meet me there.
Okay. Do you want me wait till you get there, or you want me to just have her go there first?
I'll have her go there first.
Okay. I will do that.
It's probably Fee. It sounds like Fee. Yay, high red gloves, right? But also dark hair could be Lucent, and Fee shouldn't be out and about. So I don't know. I don't like this, regardless. But yeah, I guess she'll just go down. She's not going to do anything weird about it.
Okay. Nothing weird about it. Just going down.
Mhm.
You enter into a room. Your familiar officey area where you've met with people before. Standing, looking out the window, similar to the first time that you really met her, Lucent. As you enter into the room, she turns. No smile, no expression really upon her face. Miss Masters, I've come to provide you an update.
Oh, I look forward to that. I'm glad to see you.
Yes, well, unfortunately, there is no time for pleasantries, as our relationship is primarily business. I do
Sure.
want to make you aware that I believe a large part of my investigation is complete. I took it upon myself to let you know that you're no longer under investigation. by me.
I see.
There are other matters in the city that have transpired over the last few nights that lead me to believe that a decision is being made. And as she's looking at you, you've interacted with her a couple of times at this point. It's colder than those times before.
Oh, okay.
It is understandably disappointing that I was not able to meet with the prince. I don't know that I still intend to before the final verdict is known. But you can relay to your coterie that they should have no fears from the Ventru clan moving forward.
I see. If you'll forgive a question, you said I should tell my coterie as much. Does that encompass myself?
Please clarify your question.
Of course. You said that they have nothing to fear from the clan Ventru. However, I feel that you were vague as far as whether I should be concerned.
It is my understanding Miss Grace, that you have made someone on the council aware of where you lie. And in that regard, you are no longer under threat either.
I understand. Thank you for the clarification.
I should also note, Miss Grace, that as you are young, many kindred have not been witness to a Justicar's judgment. There will likely come a night in which I will need you to corroborate, to be in the presence of myself and the prince and other interested parties. Please make yourself available at that time.
Of course.
Give me... Roll for me an insight and charisma, and add a dot for your public speaking stuff.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said charisma, what?
Insight.
Insights. Oh, so wait. Where is insight? There it is. Got it. I'm a big girl, I swear.
Me too. I mean, no.
Do I have difficulty?
No.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Do you wish
I'll
to
leave it there.
reroll?
I'm not going to.
Okay. With 3 successes, you're picking up the slightest hints that there is more that she would like to say. There's definitely more that she is saying without saying it. What that
Sure.
is, it's maybe a little bit harder for you to pick up on.
Considering my skill with etiquette,
hmm Which is
I would like
how many dots?
2
Two. Okay,
dots.
fair.
I would like to attempt to give her a way to give me more information or to speak further on this that is sort of like so in my mind, right, she's trying to be very rule following here.
hmm
And so I would like to see if I can give her some sort of opening to either speak more, to chide me in such a way as that she can be corrective or something of that nature. But me, the player, I'm not sure how to approach that.
Okay, that's fair. Hmm.
I feel as though I could say something like, given our business acquaintanceship here, or like our business relationship here, can you offer me any advice? Or perhaps, it feels like this, or separately, it feels like this conversation is quite different than ones we've had in the past. Have I done something to change your opinion? Something to open up the door for her to speak.
Okay. That's fair. Which of those two would you like to go with? And we'll go from there. Your etiquette will prevent you from making any comical blunders in the situation. But in which way would you like to go?
I think I'll lean towards, she seems a little bit more closed off, a little more terse. And so she'll be like, hey, our previous conversations have felt different. It seems like maybe your opinion personally of me has changed, or there's something, that there's some sort of misstep or faux pas I have made. Perhaps you could elaborate on what I've done here.
Okay. In conveying that to Lucinde in such a way, she takes a moment and kind of looks back out at the city. Miss Grace, my opinion of you since we first met has not changed, as a matter of fact. I will tell you that there are others involved who have taken interest in you that dictate my behavior. In
I
this
see.
sort of scenario, playing things very carefully is how I would recommend everyone involved proceed.
I see. I have a question again for you as the DM.
Yes.
Because I don't specifically remember. But it feels like she used to call me Miss Masters, and she's only called me Miss Grace
She
this
does.
time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
You have picked up on that.
Good. Thank you. All right. Interesting.
She is referring to you by a name that she had not before,
Right.
but is saying that she has not changed her opinion of you.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I would love to just tell you, but I can't.
Yeah, no, I have some thoughts.
Yeah. I find, Miss Grace, that in these times of uncertainty, it's important to remember the hierarchy where the chain of command lies. In that you will find the answers that I think that you seek. Know this. While the threats that were previously potentially coming from me have subsided, I want to make it very clear that my decision on the matter and she pauses for a minute. And in fact, she takes a minute to kind of stop what she's saying and says, I will instead say, when a Justicar makes a decision, we are usually left to follow that with the fullest authority that is provided by the inner circle. In some situations, extenuating circumstances may require us to put a pause on the justice that we would bestow. If circumstances present themselves that would lend itself to the preferred outcome that I've come to decide, believe me, that is the path that I will take.
I see. I mean, no disrespect. As you've said this evening, I am new to these sorts of situations. May I ask, what your findings have led you to believe about this city and the leadership within it?
At this, she kind of turns back toward you from the window, meeting your eyes as she speaks, and says, there are things going on in this city that would lead me to believe that the current administration is lacking. However, it is entirely possible that the outside influences are more to blame than previously understood before. I believe that after my investigation, what I've come to determine is the weight of some of the outside influences that press down upon this city. It is my understanding that there was an incident the last few nights. The issue not being one of a masquerade violation, but perhaps a systemic issue reflective of a larger problem that has been bearing down on this city for some time.
If she is done speaking, Mercy will say, I thank you for that insight.
I intend to arrange a meeting with the prince in the next few nights, give or take. It is sure to be an event, and one that I will ask you to attend.
I'm
But
quite certain I wouldn't want to miss such an event.
if you would please inform your coterie, they should be present as well.
Understood.
However, in the meantime, I have things to finish up.
Of course.
So, while I don't mean to cut you off, I think the decisions that you've made in the end will be beneficial. And I appreciate your cooperation during the investigation.
I find myself flattered by such high praise. I hear that you're busy, so I will not attempt to keep you longer with questions. But if you should need any help, or if there's anything else I can do for you while you are within the city, please let me know.
You sense the hesitation. And she goes,
Okay.
Well, Miss Grace, not to take up any more of your time, I'm sure that you'll need to attend to your evening's events.
I do have plans this evening, but I am always happy to make time for somebody of your stature's not the right word. Of your authority? There's a good word to use here, and I don't know what it is.
Your 2 dots in etiquette allow you the appropriate word.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
There it
As
is.
she walks past you, give me a wits and awareness check.
Yep. Do I have difficulty?
0. Okay,
I'm not. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
that's fair. There's 2 successes. You don't really catch it, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's all right.
She leaves similarly to how she has in the past. So,
Once she's out of the building, and assuming that none of my other employees come to make any comments, she will ring Antonius to see if he answers his phone.
He would.
God, it's just a phone call. It's fine. Good evening, Antonius. I hope you'll forgive me reaching out to you like this unexpectedly. Would you perhaps be willing to meet with me prior to our plans later this evening?
Sure.
Do you know where my gallery is? Is it convenient for you to meet me here?
It would be hard to forget where that little event occurred. be there in a few minutes.
Wonderful.
And he would hang up, finish doing what he was doing, which was loading his guitar case.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It'll blend in great
Gather,
as a gallery.
gather Six up, let her know what the hell's going on, and start heading that way.
In the time that that is transpiring, Braggy, you awake. Are you staying at the Master's Suites, or have you found haven elsewhere?
I'm staying at the Master Suite.
Fair. Will come up and kind of knock on your door to get your attention.
I open the door.
At this point, the renovations for the main area of Nova have been completed. There are guests in and out. It's an average crowd for the evening. And Will comes to the door and says, "Hey, there's somebody asking for you, specifically downstairs."
Did they give a name?
No, they said that you knew him, previous acquaintance, mutual friend. Asked for you by name.
I'll be right down. And I will get dressed in my best little suit there is. And go down and see who's asking for me.
You get down to um, the main area. And you don't see anybody that stands out. Nobody that's like waiting for you, per se. You really just see the crowd. You see Val behind the bar. You see Will's security guys, that sort of thing.
Okay. I go to, I guess, find Will and ask where this individual said they'd be, or where they last were.
You go to Will, and he goes, "What? The fuck are you talking about?"
I don't like the sound of that. I say to Will, Never mind, never mind.
Somebody's looking. I've been down here all night.
Okay. I will, subtly. How do I want to play this? That's hard. Yeah, I will do that. I'm going to send a text to Coterie and say, we might have a problem at Nova.
I mean, the first text you would get back would be like, "Are you at Nova?"
Yes.
Tell Will to lock everything down.
I will tell Will lock everything down now. We might have an intruder.
Will go, okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's fair. It's a slow night anyway. Yeah, we'll slowly lock everything down. Is there anything? Okay, let me get my bearings straight. He's gonna rub his temple a little bit. Okay. All right. I gotta deal with this, and he'll go and begin to do that and kind of usher people out. It takes 20 or so minutes. Fortunately, small crowd, mostly mortal, couple kindred, but they don't have an issue with leaving. They're not hiding out or anything in the Elysium of Nova. Valerie heads out, goes home. Will comes back to you after this time and says, okay, everything's locked down. As far as we know, everybody's out of here. What's going on? I've had my guys sweep the suites. I've had everybody cleared out of the bar. What's the word?
You don't remember coming to my door and telling me someone was looking for me at all? Any capacity?
I mean, it's been a hectic couple of days.
I assume there's probably cameras around my suite, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's cameras all over.
Hold that thought, Will. And I say I need to get to the cameras.
You want to call Roland? He made them. He put the whole system together.
Yeah, let me call Roland. So I will call Roland.
Side
that
note,
point-
storyteller.
Yes.
Nope.
Because this went over text,
Yes.
we were going to go meet Mercy.
Yes.
Then there was an open text call about, hey, there's problems at Nova. On the back end of this conversation, while this is all happening, and not to take too much time away from it,
Mhm.
Tony would absolutely have gone, fuck that, we're meeting at Nova, and had Six start driving us there instead.
Fair.
So-
Rocky does not get an answer from Roland.
Okay.
So on that same note, really quickly too, Mercy sent a follow-up text about that. Asking Roland if he could check cameras at and around Nova. Does he respond to that, or are we all?
I built it so I could not access it from outside.
Okay. Then in that same note, Tony told her Nova, so she's on her way too.
Okay. In the time that you guys are all going to Nova, Roland and Ygritte,
Mhm.
you get a message from Annabelle.
Oh, fuck us.
Good thing I packed my fucking guitar.
Tonight, Succubus Club. Less than an hour. Be here. Portia wants to talk. That's it. That's all you get. This is about a half an hour into Egret's book reading adventure.
Awesome. The thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a ticket to tonight's game.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Time to become a baseball fan.
After I come out of my book coma,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. What
Um,
do I see? Because if I got a message from Annabelle, I go in and I go to talk to her.
Are you going in like at that half hour mark immediately?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's going to be something we have to discuss about what our plan is, and we
I
would go
didn't
in.
I didn't mock the image up, but essentially what you walk in on
Okay.
is Ygritte arms out like this, floating about a foot off of the ground.
Nope. Shut the door.
Okay. That's initially what you see when the door is opened.
Open.
Nothing
nope.
like a monster of the night, an immortal like creature of blood and death, opening a good door and going, nope, just going the other way.
I'm good.
Oh, wait.
Braggy. In the time that you're waiting for people to come, as you know that they are headed that way, presumably, Will is going about checking on different things again. After one of his little patrols or things, he comes back and he goes, "Hey, somebody wants to meet you in the private room." Now,
I send a text to the coterie.
give me a quick
Some-
wits and awareness as you're talking to Will. Awareness wits. I'm going to say it wrong forever. It's just who I am.
difficulty.
Sounds better as what's in awareness.
0. I agree. You don't
Oh, poets.
you don't really notice anything different, but it still feels weird. The feeling is there that prompted you to kind of look closer, but you don't really pick up on too much.
I will say I'll be right there. Before I do that, since I got no answer from Roland, I will. After I tell Will I'll be right there, walk away, continue his rounds or whatever.
Yeah, he kind of walks off a little bit.
I'm gonna check the cameras first.
After you, so the camera system is locked in Will's office, which is kind of where he went back to. So
Ah.
you get there, he's there. He goes, "Hey man, what's up? Did you get hold of Roland?"
Roland didn't answer, but I need to check the cameras. Something feels off.
I'm scrubbing through. I don't see anything out of the ordinary on the cameras. What time did you say I was up at your room? And
Not
you
that long before I came down.
provide the time.
Yeah.
As Will is kind of scrubbing through, you see this very confused look on his face, and he's like, "Okay, let me hold on." And he's going back through more intently. I don't remember doing that. But I was up at your room.
You weren't.
No, I was, and he brings you around and he rewinds it, and it shows the different angles of him walking from the security office all the way up, following his whole trajectory up to your room and coming back down. So I don't remember doing that.
You also don't remember telling me someone was waiting for me in one of the private rooms, do you?
When did I tell you that? We don't have
Within
cameras
the
down there, so
within the last 5 minutes?
uh no, I don't. I don't recall telling you that.
I'll send another text to the group. Someone's messing with Will's head. Not sure who, but they're here.
6, drive faster.
Oh, I am.
Give me drive dexterity. Let's see how fast you can get there.
Oh, great.
Nice.
To be
Okay.
clear, this is Tony's car tonight.
Oh, the nice one. Okay.
How
what?
It's the last run, so
Your personal, like your little sporty car?
it's a 68 Charger.
it's a quick car. Oh,
Wow.
Oh.
Fuck that. I'm burning your willpower. Jesus. What the?
let's get him out of the way now.
Nothing little about the car. That's fair.
True.
It's a beauty, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
It's a little better.
3 successes. You cut it close a couple of times, but managed to avoid any issues on the way. You do get there pretty quick. You roll up to Nova. You can see that it's locked down. There's security out back like there usually is. They know who you are. You're allowed in. When you guys make it into Nova, you catch the very tail end of Braggy and Will standing in Will's office, going over the footage.
So we're there in this scene now.
You are there. You have arrived. Mercy,
Neat.
you are soon to arrive if you're choosing to go.
Yeah.
Which I believe you are, but. So Will goes, oh, hey, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I went and talked to Braggy and I don't remember it. Apparently I also told him there's somebody waiting in the secure first room. But we don't have cameras down there, so I don't know for sure.
Do you have flame-based countermeasures in that room, perchance?
No, Maggie was very adamant that it's supposed to be a safe place, not a dangerous place.
So, just to be clear, and for player suspicions, we got there when we were going through the last tail end of the tape, right?
Yes.
Is what I'm looking at appear to be a mind control situation or a doppelganger situation?
How many dominate points do you have, Tony? How familiar are you? How familiar are you with dominate? 3. You kind of like, and probably without even asking, because of humanity reasons and concern, grab Will's face and kind of look at him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he would do exactly that.
The signs are there. The signs seem very much there that his faculties have been hijacked for certain points of this evening.
Sorry, buddy. Somebody got you. Does it? There's no way for me to tell. Like, are there more commands in the pipe, or is he done? There's no way to tell that.
There's not. No, I don't think there's really a role for that.
Get away from my wine.
That was the cutest little mouse.
It was a cute meow.
She almost got it too. Right, interesting. Cool. Well, Braggy, how brave do you feel?
Right now, brave enough to take on a lot of things.
Do you want a security detail? What are we doing here?
If we get a security detail down there, that gets going to be our intruder's security detail very rapidly. So, Braggy, you're usually a pretty cool cucumber of a person. Here's the deal. You're going to go down to that room that whatever it is wants to meet you in.
Hmm.
You're going to leave the door a little open. You're not going to lock it so it's not soundproofed. If you say if you use a curse word, we're coming in. Also, take this with you. And Tony's going to hand Braggy a grenade.
Oh,
Me.
Well, the evening is already fun.
copy
No, it's
that.
better than hand him a gun because I've seen how well he shoots.
Yeah,
I
firearms
resemble that comment.
specialty.
But I've also seen shadow things pull the pins of grenades really well, so there's that.
Also fair.
So, Tony intends on following, but into the hallway outside. Not entering until Braggy gives a signal. Even more so, just like have your phone in your hand and like fire off a text as soon as like you want us to come in. That thing vibrates and I'm kicking down the door.
Okay.
Mercy, you arrive. Nova's locked down. Security knows you. They wave you in. Braggy, as you open the door, sitting at the far end of the table in this room is a figure. Just sitting.
Oh, so I
There,
have you to thank. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
there isn't really any visible appendages that you can see. The face is heavily obscured by the hood itself. It doesn't appear to be, and you pick up on this mostly because of your La Sombreness. It doesn't appear to be shrouded by some um, magical shadow or power in any way. It seems to just be an effect of this hood.
So it's a normal shadow.
It does appear to be.
Oh, you said magic words that I like. So I say to this mysterious figure, I suppose I have you to thank for messing with my friend Ted a little bit.
The voice that comes out of the hooded figure, I don't know how long they'll be able to do it for, but it initially sounds like the mix between raspy coughs and whispers. Though you can hear it and understand what it's saying, it speaks in such a way that it does make you strain a little bit to listen to it. And it sounds almost like it gives you kind of a nails on the chalkboard feeling too, in its own way. To be fair, there is already damage done that made utilizing him the most effective means.
I will say, who exactly are you and what is your purpose of being here?
The figure, who is now going to talk normally because that was scratchier on my throat than I wanted it to be, says, without answering your initial question, you can tell your friends to come in. It's better for everyone to hear, so I don't need to repeat myself.
How you knew my friends were out there, I will not hesitate to guess as some sort of mischievous shadow play, but I will signal for them to come in with a text.
As
Is
a
the tech
point,
the? Oh, sorry. Go you.
sure. As a point of clarity, Mercy, when she walks in the door, is like, "All right, where's Braggy?" And
Will-
if Will doesn't have an answer for her, she will blink through the cameras and
Will just points down to where you know the rooms are. Yep.
and great. Then as soon as she arrives, she's standing next to Tony, who presumably stops her from going in initially.
Mm-hmm. Very quickly brought up the speed. As the text we get a come in nice or come in hot, or does it specify?
The text says, come in cautiously. Not sure if this is friend or foe. The door is, as Tony suggested, slightly cracked.
Then he lied because he wasn't going to actually stay down the hall and he was going to be right up against the door. So we heard everything. Great. So there's the sound of a popping neck, and the door opens and everybody rolls on in.
The
Suppose.
rustling of a coat.
As a note, oh, sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
As a note, it's at this stage because I'm nervous about this figure's hood. I will say, or would it be too much to ask you to remove the hood so that we can see your face? Or would you prefer to keep that between you and I?
The creature will address that question and say, the hood is necessary. At least for now.
Does anyone else in the room recognize this thing at all?
No.
Does it have a heartbeat?
No.
Okay.
6, you are with Tony. Yes, you're also in the room?
Yes.
Okay. Just gauging who's all in there.
One more addition.
Yes.
Mercy is going to stroll in and play Doting Sire. So wherever Braggy is, she's going to come up and pat him gently on the shoulder and kind of hover, just so that she's essentially between him and danger. Hopefully.
Fair. Noted. The creature speaks, without really moving too much. The form, you can tell based on like the initial shape and the way it fills out the robe that it is wearing. It's very gaunt, if anything. Much like Braggy, you see no appendages, no hands, no anything, nothing that would give away what it looks like. I had expected more of you, but this will suffice the majority. I'm nothing if not gracious.
Braggy will say, I assume it would be safe to inform you that I could, if I really wanted to, see what you look like. Would that be a danger to me or my coterie?
No, it would not be a danger. It would be something you wouldn't understand. This is more for your benefit than mine. I will cut to the point. Actually, as a note, Tony and Six,
Mm-hmm.
you hear in the words that are being spoken the smallest inflection of an accent.
Uh-huh.
You and your friends have assisted in taking something from me. I have been kind to not take anything from you. I left the one above with his faculties. I've done no harm to those that were here when I showed up. I would enjoy my property being returned to me.
What is your property exactly?
The one that made you.
And
You may be a bastard all you wish, but she is mine.
I'm say we refuse outright. What then?
Do you speak for your friends, young one? In my time, you would not have been given a voice to speak.
Hmm.
And the hood shifts slightly to point at you, Tony.
Fucking course.
You seem more like the authority here. I'll address you. And the hood kind of tilts slightly when it focuses intently on you.
Mm-hmm.
I see you too have taken something from me. But more intimately.
We are standing in a place of tradition, so I will offer you a kindness in return. What you're asking is not possible, not because we intend on keeping anything from you, but because the property that you wish returned is not in our possession. It is not in the possession of our kind, period.
Then you will tell me where. Or I will take from you the soul you took as payment.
This is getting good. Okay, so Antonius will put down his guitar case and walk across the room to sit in the chair most next to the robed figure. Again, I'll do you a kindness. Where your property is not a place, natural or otherwise. Our kind play often at being gods. I can tell you that your progeny is under the possession of something that is much more literally that. And far above my power or the power of Cain to reach.
That is where you're wrong, young one. You've forgotten your elders and the feats that we can accomplish when we try. I will not ask a third time. Tell me where, or I will take from you Crusher's soul and your own for the annoyance.
Ironically, I am not lying to you, nor am I being coy. Your progeny, best I can tell, is deep, deep underground in a facility that I truly do not know the actual location of. I am not truly sure that it has a static location. I am not certain that its location is in our realm as one of our kind that can view the spirit realm. This isn't information I'm keeping from you. This is because it is best it has been explained to me, unknowable. And of all things, Tony's going to lean forward, put his elbows on the desk in a non-threatening thing.
Mm-hmm.
Try to look at the figure wherever he figures the figure's eye would be. And he will undo, briefly, his eyes of the beast that he always has on now, so that they're not just black pits, you can see his eyes. As if, go ahead, read my mind.
Okay. That's what it's gonna do.
And for the purposes of this, as long as the reading thing seems to be within the bounds of trying to find out where Claymore is, which is fair and exactly what this creature has asked, he is not going to resist. If he senses that it's going elsewhere, then I would say that he would try and kick in and resist.
Okay.
If he's just looking for Claymore, full honesty. If it's like fucky and like trying to find out other weird like political stuff or like plans and stuff that he's got going on or any of that shit, then he's gonna try and resist.
Fair. As you lean in and take off your eyes, unblackened for the moment, what you see within the robe is just swirling shapes. Movement, but no features that you can make out. You feel immediately a weight hit you
Mm-hmm.
as it pushes its way into your mind, you giving it access willingly for the things that you are saying. You feel it touching those bits and pieces. You feel, too, that part of you that you gained from Diablo Rising Crusher react in a way. Like the worst heartburn you would have ever had as a human, amplified by 10 as a kindred. The
So
pain.
another one of Maggie's tables is getting destroyed by fingernails.
It's you all witness the slow push into the wood. The information that seems to be the focus of this creature is what it has suggested. It does attempt to pull from you contacts of the organization that you have known. Stone. It's snatching that. The events of what transpired with the Six. Pulling that. Crusher's final moments. Hyper focuses on that. Goes to push deeper. Contacts that you've had that maybe the group doesn't know about. It pushes. It attempts to pull from you those. Private conversations with those individuals.
It's getting to be about the point where it knows everything it should know. Does that feel right? Does it feel like that's the is pushing past any
It's staying within the realm of what you had discussed, but it is pushing deeper.
just go with it for like when it feels like okay, this is just it's a violation, to be clear already.
Oh, it feels very violating. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's not going to try and fight it off until it actually breaks the word. Well, it breaks its word.
Okay. So far, does not. Though I will need from you any conversations that you pulled that you had in the past with those people.
Sure.
But once it gets them, you feel it receding back through your mind. And as it fully pulls out of you, there is just this, you don't breathe. It's not something you do. But that you just have this urge to gasp. And just...
He does.
You feel like you have a cold sweat all over your body. You don't. But it has that sensation. There are probably things that as it was pulling out, it brought to the surface that you have suppressed in a way.
The eyes absolutely go black again. The teeth are all sharp again. There's splintered wood in both hands.
From the perspective of the three onlookers, You saw this creature not move beyond turning its head slightly to look at Tony. The sensation now gone. The raspy voice once more echoes throughout the room. Honest, good, wise. Though payment for your transgressions may be required still. The hood turns back to face you, Tony. You should not rest comfortably. You must understand the old ways demand an eye for an eye. This night, I grant reprieve. But soon, little one, soon I will come knocking. And as it finishes that, and you all hear it, the hooded robe collapses in the seat that it was in, as thousands of insects and spiders, small mammals, rodents, mangled things, disperse from the robe and begin making their way to the crevices and cracks throughout the room.
Mercy slams the door to the meeting room shut.
It's not gonna matter. It wasn't here.
Mm.
This was a courtesy phone call with shitty Transylvanian bullshit.
What? What?
I wasn't sure. I'm less familiar with this than you are, but I don't know how
You-
much he can learn from these creatures as they disperse. If they're at least stuck in here, they're easy to deal with.
They're just
They
But-
seem
No.
to go about their normal behavior. Aside from the ones that are more mangled and disgusting looking, they tend to collapse and just expire on the floor.
if you want to be super safe, seal the room, set it on fire, but it's not going to matter. These things aren't going to be used by it again.
Yeah.
This was a burner phone for it. Remember the thing that I've been calling the Dracula for
Mhm.
funsies? I'm probably
That
not far off.
Knocked on our doorstep.
Kid, it's probably your grandpa. Or worse.
Great grandpa.
Who knows? That shit's old.
Yeah. Seems, as I understand it, the earlier the generation you are, the stronger you are, correct?
Yep.
Well, Braggy will notably be confused as all hell, but say, So what do we do now if we have that knocking on our doorstep?
That's been
Is it-
knocking on our doorstep since the bird. Probably earlier.
You notice the similarity? He'll just point at something that I assume looks vaguely like a dead bird in the pile of shit.
Oh yeah, there's many corpses to fill out the pile.
The bird, the limb monster.
The shit written on the wall in my graveyard.
Notably,
Oh, I don't
there
think I've heard of
are
that.
The vague accent that was of the same variety of the language that we pulled from that, I'm assuming. Was that a correct assumption there?
that's a correct assumption.
Okay. Yeah.
Notably, there's also a couple of humanoid bits and pieces found within the pile.
This is my surprise face.
Braggy will notably pull the grenade out from his pocket safely, carefully.
Tony will reach out his hand and give the grabby fingers.
Braggy hands the grenade over. That would have stopped the phone, but nothing else, based on what we're dealing with, right?
That was a long distance call. Or, horrifyingly enough, we don't know how long distance.
Yep.
And still able to fuck with Will. What do we do about that?
Okay.
I mean, about leave aside his interference. What do we do about Will?
Will is about as good as Will's ever going to be. Will has been afflicted by people, well, kindred dominating him multiple times. After you do it a few times, it gets easier for the kindred to keep doing it, and it does something to the recipient. The brain gets used to it, doesn't mind it as much. It's like an adaptation. It's bad for him, but I'm going to put this in as simple terms as we can. I don't know how much I am a person that builds contingency plans as a hobby. I don't think there's enough that I can do about this medieval monster bullshit that is cropping up right now. If it wants into a place, it's going to get in. If it wants to dominate any of the humans that we know, it's going to. If it wants to end anything that it wants to end, it has a lot of practice in not just how to do things with brute force, but how to do things delicately. Probably have one safe house that it won't know how to get to. And that's not helpful for anybody. With this kind of shit, the smart thing to do is dig yourself a hole 10 feet down and cover yourself back up. Wait for it all to blow over, but we have not that option. Especially if we have a prince to pull out of a frying pan.
Speaking of frying pans, and I'm sorry to interrupt your thought process here. Where are Roland and Egret?
On that note,
Pulls out his phone. Where you at? Scene change.
as the scene changes to Roland and Egret preparing to potentially go to the Succubus Club as time runs short. Let's take a quick break.
Ah!
So,
Ugh.
5-10 minutes or so, get back here
Ah!
and pick up on the other side of the town with Roland, Egret, and some other threats to your lives.
My fucking favorite.
See you in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
The whole.
Hey, so we're back. Are we back online?
We're back. Yeah.
Came out
That's-
of nowhere?
We're talking about the Iron Fist right up the.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
boy.
it.
I already got things I need to talk to you about.
Sounds like the best
Fuck,
way to say
okay.
thank you to somebody for sure.
So, we left off with a bit of a scene change. Roland and Ygritte, you have been tasked with, well, tasked is a loose term. You've been told to get the hell to.
Voluntold.
You've been voluntold to come and talk to Portia because she has asked you to.
Uh-huh.
Asked
Yeah,
for
she-
you.
So I will. Once she's out of her room.
Yeah, Ygritte has stopped floating and come out.
Yeah, once she's out of her room, you're like, okay, two things. One, we apparently need to go see Portia before we have to do anything else tonight. And two, I don't want to talk about what I saw. We're not going to talk about it. I don't want to know. I don't care to know. We're good?
I mean, I am. We got more important shit to deal with.
Uh-huh, yeah. So you floating and reciting things is not, not on the higher priority of things we got to deal with. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I'm very hungry and I learned something cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, hungry. Yeah. Okay. You should probably eat something before we get voluntold to do things. So you're not angry and hungry at the same time.
As a note storyteller,
Mm-hmm.
because of our working relationship, am I able to access to Roland's herd?
If he offered it to you, which I believe he has in the past, then yes, you would have access to that. And if you don't have any like feeding restrictions that would dictate you need special food, then you would be good.
It's the Scene Queen stuff, so they're already his fans, so they're fans of his music, so it's...
Oh yeah, you would easily have access to a light snack.
On a bit package.
Do you think it's best to call giveaway winners, or do you think Annabelle would be upset if I snacked at her club?
Let's do giveaway winners. Let's not owe things to people that we don't want to owe things to.
Good point. So
you set up that I pack for tonight.
do you want to take my car?
Well, since mine's still in the shop, yes, let's go with that.
Wonderful.
Your new car, yes. Recently acquired.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'll bring all of my stuff, my range extenders, a high power drone.
It should all fit nicely in the trunk.
Yeah. Everything we might need for tonight.
All right. So realistically, storyteller, how much hunger can I get rid of here?
Roll a d4 real quick.
Oh no.
Okay, so you managed to contact 2. Now, normally, feeding off of both of them would reduce you from your 3 down to 1. 1 per...
I'm at 4.
Oh, you're at 4. With 2,
yeah, I'm at 4.
You go back down to 2. There is definitely a feeling when you slake that second point of hunger where you feel like this is a baseline. You feel like even if you had more to drink, you don't know that it would be effective tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There's just this like pit in your chest that feels like it's preventing something.
Mm.
But just for the purposes of what you've acquired, you for this evening will have 2 hunger.
All right. Well, I hope that's only temporary. But I give them their free merch from the giveaway afterwards and send them on their way.
They are ecstatic to have met the great DJ Doulahan and
Yes, they are.
all of the fun stuff that transpired.
With all of it. All of the fun stuff that they think happened.
Mm-hmm. You finish your drink. You then go to Roland and probably hop in your car. Are you guys making your way right over to the Succubus Club?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I made this image a billion years ago.
I know, and I don't get to use it very
Oh.
often.
Oh my god.
As you pull up to the Succubus Club, there is a person outside of the front door holding a sign that says Roland. Like a driver would at like the airport.
Mm.
Um,
Going like that.
yeah, I'm gonna walk in.
Are you ignoring the person with the sign?
Yeah.
Security will try and stop you as you're cutting the
Okay.
line.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm expected inside.
what's the name? Good check if you're on the list, man.
Name's DJ Doulahan.
Don't have a Doulahan.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely on there.
My way, goddamn.
He goes, man, I don't see on here, but
It's me, and I've got this attractive woman with me. Yeah. Nothing.
just fucking, I don't care. Go in.
Yeah.
Once inside, it's very much the same scene that you're familiar with. Loud music, and kind of the normal scene that you're familiar with. You find yourself kind of walking through the main area for a few moments before you feel a presence kind of walk up behind you, and Annabelle goes, "You were supposed to talk to the person outside."
Oh, was I? I'm sorry. I've got a lot on my mind. I just
No,
assumed you wanted to meet me
you're
inside.
not. You're not sorry, and I won't have you lying, Roland. It's impolite and unbecoming of one in so high esteem within our clan these evening.
Oh, have I become so high of esteem?
Well, yes, unfortunately, there are some that think that you have a greater purpose, but I don't know
Not
that
you.
I am one of them. Exactly. Yes, no.
Yeah, see, no. Why would my promoters, see things for me? Well,
Well, I do see potential, but not what
no,
she sees.
no. And what does she see?
You'd better hope a tool and
Mm,
not a meal.
I've been not a very good screwdriver.
Oh, I don't know that she would use you that way.
Yeah, I'm
More
definitely
like,
not a hammer.
yes, well.
I'm not the
Anyway,
hammer.
I don't have time for your shit tonight, Roland. I have things I have to do. She's
Yes,
in
that
the
always seems to be the case.
well.
Never have time.
Uh, you know what? To be fair, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you this evening. I don't want to be near you or there or her. I just don't. I don't feel like it. I'm doing things for myself. Self-care.
Oh,
Goodbye, Roland. She's in the
good,
private room and she
good.
walks off.
It's about time.
You
You
hear
get elbows rolling.
you hear
Yes.
a laugh.
And I thought I was gonna die.
You hear a small laugh from the edge of the bar as Brett Stryker is just sitting there shaking his head. Just like
Roland will bow to Stryker with the flourish of the hand.
she's gonna kill you, dude. It
That's possible, but she's never really liked me, so
no, but like you're giving her a reason to kill you at this point. So
again,
I'm just hoping she lets me watch.
again,
she might.
Brett. Again, Brett. I've done everything short of kiss her ass to make nice with her, but she chooses to not have me as an ally, and that is her fault and her problem, not mine. Though I do wish you the pleasant of nights.
Yeah, well, it has actually a pretty good night for me because with Portia on your guys' ass, I'm free. At least for a little bit.
Well, I hope it continues. I really do.
I wish you guys the best.
Well, let's hope I don't die. Well, let's go, Ygritte. Let's go into our funeral march.
You make your way to the private room. As the door opens, and the music is quieted because of the natural soundproofing of the room. You are greeted by Portia, familiar to you as you've met her once before. A couple times at this point. She smiles at you both, welcomes you, and offers her hands next to her on the leather couch, both sides of her, gives a little pat for you to take a seat.
Roland will bow and a pleasure to see you again, Portia.
Likewise,
And take a seat.
Ygritte will attempt to sit on the other side of Roland and not next to Portia.
No, dear, right here. I insist.
Reluctantly takes a seat.
There. And she leans back and puts her arms around both of you, like on the top of the couch, directing her attention at Roland. Well, I've heard a lot has been going on in the city.
Yeah, me too.
What happened to your car, Roland? I heard something about your vehicle being...
Apparently the zoo had a breakout. Wild animals.
It's a shame when that happens.
Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
So, I love the theatrics on occasion. It's fun, but I don't really want to waste my time or your time. I want you to go into the labyrinth for me, and I want you to get something for me. Plain, simple, clear cut.
Okay.
You have familiarity with it. I've been informed of your time down there. I know that you know the residents that live down there to some extent. And I am not welcome. So,
I can't imagine why. Your stunning personality.
oh, my personality is stunning, but
I-
that's beside the point.
No lie from me.
So, I'm not a fool. I know that you're going to want something and you're going to want to know why. And I'm just going to tell you that I'm not going to tell you. But
Oh,
as for
Oh, you-
rewards,
okay.
I mean, I can give you pretty much anything that you'd want.
Hmm. I mean, Eager, do you want something?
So many
Sure.
things, but
I mean, I
none
don't
of them
really have
seem
any.
worth.
Yeah, I don't really have anything I overly need at the moment.
Well, I mean, if there's nothing that you want at the moment, we can always settle it with some major boons. I'm prepared to give you both several.
Oh, this must be a very important object that you want us to, or a very dangerous object that you want us to find.
Uh, well,
Eager, did you tell me what she wants?
Oh yeah, no, I spoke it out loud to the
I
entire
thought so.
coterie.
I
Yeah.
thought so. Cool. All right.
well, the item that
Yeah.
I want you to acquire is very valuable to me, and it also, I'm willing to pay such a high price, you could say, to ensure that it safely gets to where I need it to be.
Oh, man, your cup must overflow with generosity.
Hmm. You know, it's a funny choice of phrase.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's Annabelle, who ran into me earlier. Little on edge. I apologize.
You know, if you wanted, you could be the primogen of the city for our clan.
Yes, but that would put me in crosshairs of people I wish not to be in front of at this particular juncture.
Well, I mean, if climbing the power ladder isn't your thing, there's always other things. I'm more of a, catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I know that Annabelle can oftentimes be the other way. I'd like to work together.
Oh, so you want to come with us? Is that the
I've already
work
stated
together?
that I'm not welcome, Roland.
Oh,
Pay attention.
oh, I'm very much paying attention, my dear. Um, so what is it that you want us to acquire then, if I may ask?
Well, my information tells me it looks like a chalice of some kind, probably silver in color, deepest depths of the labyrinth under Chicago, all that fun jazz. I know that it's a bit of a. Well, I know the name is not ironic. It's called the Labyrinth for a reason. But I also know you've been down there and you've come back. That's more
Yeah.
than the last two that I sent. So, I would very much like to see if you can do it a second time. I can provide some detail, but you may rely on all of your wits to face this challenge.
Do you need an answer this very evening in this very hour?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hmm. Well, I'd hate to be the bearer of some slightly bad news, but we might not be able to complete what you're asking us, as we may not be of sound body to do so.
Oh?
If all goes well this evening, then we will consider it, but I do not wish to commit myself to something that I may not be around to accomplish.
That's okay. I still want your commitment now.
Hmm.
To be paid after this evening.
You're paying me up front?
Hmm. I suppose I
Is that
could.
what? Uh, that is not what I asked. So you're committing to paying us up front? This must be very necessary for you.
It's something that would provide the utmost convenience for me. Yes.
Hmm.
Now, again, I prefer the honey approach, but I'm not opposed to other methods to get what I want.
I would prefer the honey approach as well. I don't react well to the stick.
Hmm. She kind of leans into you, Roland, a little bit. Her face gets pretty close to your ear. I wouldn't use the stick on you. It would be everyone you ever knew, everyone you ever loved, starting with the one behind me.
See, he'll lean back away from her. See, it's that kind of phrasing right there. It really just feels like the stick. You could have
Oh,
stuck. You could have stuck to the honey.
the honey is still here, dear. You're
Mm,
misunderstanding.
it's a honey-covered stick, is what you just offered.
Well, how else do you get the honey out of the jar? I don't like these metaphors. They're annoying to me. I don't want to play the word games with you, Roland.
All
You
right, then
have
fine. I won't
provided
play
a
the word games.
service before. You have gone where I need you to go. Commit to me that you'll do it for me, and everybody wins.
See, it is not in my nature to play the word games, but I have to, because that is the way the game is played. See, Portia,
Hmm.
I am not opposed to going and getting the thing for you at all in any way, shape, or form. But I needed to know what method you would use to ask me to get it.
And I've
You
told you.
offered. Oh, yes, you did. You offered the stick. And I said, I do not react well to the stick. That still does not mean I'm not willing to get it for you. It's just a warning.
Roland.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He does. His eyes do not leave Portia,
Okay.
and he's staring right at her mouth, not at her eyes.
Okay.
are we? Mm, never mind.
No, say it.
Are we going to continue the conversation this way? Or should I be more forward?
No, we can continue the conversation this way. Forward is not necessary. I believe we are both willing to accommodate Portia.
Portia's eyebrow raises, and she turns away from you, Roland, and looks at you, Ygritte. She goes, "You strike me less of the wordy type. Whether that's your age or just the fact that you're a woman and obviously much smarter than your male counterpart. I'm gonna need, I think, to work with you. And it could be very beneficial for you, dear. You're young. You have many, many millennia left. And I would be a boon to you. Any height that you wish to climb, I can help you achieve. Even if that means at some point you'd like to get out from under him."
He will audibly laugh.
She does
don't
smile
think-
at the wording.
I don't control her.
Oh, I'm fully
no,
aware.
That's very true. He doesn't. But the truth is, he has done an excellent job leading me so far. And the truth is, from what we had discussed, knowing this meeting was coming, we're not opposed. We just had to, like he said, we just had to see if you would come at us with threats or rewards. And to be honest, not shocked that you went with flattery first, but we do understand that you are much more powerful than you lead on. And you lead on that you're quite powerful. We're not idiots. To be honest, it is just a little bit of fun playing these word games with you.
You remind me too much of Sirius with these word games.
That's fair. As long as finding this object does not harm my connections with the labyrinth, and its gatekeeper, I see no reason to not make a deal. I feel we should decide a certain number of boons, but
Well, I like
because
that.
several is so vague.
I do enjoy that it would appear that we're getting to the actual meat of the discussion. Tell me, Ygritte, you have been in our world for some time, but not so much as a kindred, yes?
Yeah.
You understand the structure of the Camarilla and the way that their cities are.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, and maybe you don't know, I could probably fill in some gaps, if a deputy of the prince were conspiring to take out an inner circle member of the Camarilla, working under orders from the prince, do you know how that would be handled amongst the entire Camarilla?
The way you phrase it certainly doesn't sound good. I,
Do you understand what a crime it would be for anyone, Prince included, to be conspiring against the High Inner Council? Like,
See, and
for
see, and there's
example,
that stick again.
no. For example, if I don't know, if evidence was presented to a member of the judicial branch, to put it in terms you might understand, someone with authority to carry out such things, do you know how they would potentially address the situation?
not specifics, but I know it would. But I do have to say, we are in no way conspiring. There is no, as far as any of us know, plot in that way. And what I'm trying to get at here is, are you saying that part of the deal of us getting this chalice is that you will either work for or against the prince in her current endeavor?
That is an interesting way to phrase things. Not that I require you to elaborate on the endeavor currently that the prince is working on, but let's say it this. Let's play the word game slightly. You never know who's listening. If, for example, that scenario that I spoke about were to transpire, and evidence was found, discovered, or potentially leaked to interested parties, should a favor, an undertaking such as the one I would be asking, should that happen, it would be worth just so much, really. I imagine that any parties with information would forget where they placed it, maybe even destroy it. Additionally, again, and because I am so privy to the honey rather than the stick, I would also be, or the person would also be willing to maybe corroborate any sort of claims that authorities had, because it's potentially something they have intimate knowledge about. And I would even go as so far, because I just love you and your sire so much and how well you've come up in this city, to extend to you a major boon. My own personal word to assist you when you need it.
Okay, because I personally am
Yep.
not always greatest with the word games.
No, you're all
So
good.
she's basically saying personal boon, destroy evidence, and corroborate the prince's claim.
Yep, you got it.
Those are three separate things that she's offering.
The several, yes.
Okay. Just making sure. I'm going to look past her briefly and look at Roland. kind of the questioning, like trying to get across a
Yeah, it's
should I
more
say
of a,
yes?
it's more of a we were gonna do it that fucking anyway.
Yeah.
I was just seeing what we could get out of her.
Well, that certainly does sound like a sweet deal.
Sweet as honey, dear. Sweet as honey.
Mm.
Would that be a personal boon each,
Ooh, the
or just for the two of
semantics.
us? Oh no,
Hmm.
I'm just trying to make sure that everything's clear.
Well, I've been told that Roland doesn't want for anything. So maybe just for you, dear. Or maybe two for you. I'll have Stryker come in and record them right now.
Oh, let's be clear. I don't think you can offer me anything right now. But if you're willing to give boons, boons can be redeemed at any time for anything within the realm of what it is.
She slowly turns her head back to you. Very predatory in the way that she does it.
Oh yeah. I got. 100%.
The realm of the things that I can do, Roland, might surprise you even with what you think you know.
My dear Portia, I don't know if that's truly the case because I come in with no preconcepts of what you can do. So, can't imagine it would surprise me. I assume you are far more powerful than I could possibly imagine. So, I don't know.
Based on our conversation tonight, Roland, it sounds like I could fill a swimming pool with what you don't know. What I need to know is if you're going to do it or not. And you can hear the tone in her voice shift slightly to one of a more serious nature.
Well,
Though I
Portia,
enjoy spending time with you both.
no need to lie now.
Well,
Portia,
one of you.
Yes. As I said before, and I stand by that, we are willing to help you. And for that price, I believe that you have a deal.
Great. She snaps her fingers, and Brett opens the door. He goes, "What the fuck? What do you... Excuse me. Sorry. What do you need?" And she goes, "On the books, Mr. Harpy, record 2 major boons from myself to Ygritte." I expect prompt payment. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. And she boops you on the nose, Ygritte. She goes, "You I like. Now go."
Get up. Go out.
I'm going to leave a jammer under the seat.
Okay. To jam what specifically? Just any signals?
Any signals?
Okay. Just to be a dick,
Just
right?
being a
Really?
dick.
Fair.
Yeah,
Mhm,
well, considering she gave 2 major boons to Ygritte,
Well, you did say for that price of a deal, and the last thing she had said was 2 for Ygritte. So
well,
I mean,
yeah, but the last thing he said was a boon for each of us.
that's fair.
She didn't.
You didn't get her to corroborate that,
You
though.
didn't get her
had
to
to get that out
clarify.
of her mouth.
That's fair, but now,
But that's fair. You could leave a jammer and be a dick. I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
yeah, no,
Must have fallen out of your pocket.
must have.
Whoopsie daisy. You do.
Yeah. Yeah, let's fuck with the fortune. That's gonna be my epitaph.
I mean, what else are you doing? It's not like you're fucking with all sorts of things.
All right, let's just add her now to the list of things I'm fucking with. Oh, fuck me. All right.
Around the end
She
of
doesn't want to do that.
your meeting,
Mm-hmm.
all of you, those at Nova and those of you at the Succubus Club, receive a message from Fee. I think we're ready. That's all it says.
Well, some of us just walk upstairs, I guess.
True.
Then Roland will message, we're on our way. We were just getting threatened by Portia.
Love that.
Antonius is going to
Mercy
leave the
Heart
group
reacts.
briefly and just stare at a wall for a while.
Okay.
Actually, Tony, about that. I had been hoping to talk to you earlier this evening.
You go over
Uh-huh.
to Tony staring at a wall.
He's talking to you, but staring at the wall.
And
It's the bar, and he's just looking at the back wall.
that's fair. So I met with Lucinda this evening. Already.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Her investigation has come to an end. She has asked me to let you and the rest of the coterie know. And if Six and Braggy are nearby, she's sharing this. She is not being secretive. That the Ventru clan is not likely to be a threat to any one of us. Lucinda personally has not changed her opinion of me since the first we met and the impression she gave me then. But I got the impression that the inner circle member that she works for is in fact the person who has offered to try to place me into power in Maggie City in exchange for my help with all of these things I've been doing, dropping fee off to them and whatnot. I feel very confident in that based on the conversation that we had. Additionally, I do believe that that inner circle member has formally separated me from the prince in ways that matter. Formally, traditionally, I'm not really, I don't know how it all works. But Lucinda did not once call me Miss Masters this evening and was quite taciturn in ways that she has not been in the past, sticking to formality and the business of the matter without offering any of the gentleness she has shown before. And she, when I asked, said it was because things have changed intrinsically in these nights of her investigation. She also said that usually someone in her place, upon finishing such an investigation and having made such decisions, could take action, and that the situation has changed it such that she cannot take action on her own, or as she typically would. And additionally, there'll be a meeting with her, perhaps this inner circle member, I feel is the impression that I was given, and Maggie in the coming nights. Although whether they have any inklings of the true whereabouts of Maggie, I sort of doubt. But
That's
again,
not-
I am making some leaps here.
it's not really surprising. I mean, they both
No,
came into town assuming that Maggie was going to be eating a inner circle member, and
Mhm.
it's clear that they don't think that anymore. They're actually starting to figure this shit out. Do you still have Lucinde's number for contact?
I've never been able to reach her by phone, but I perhaps could get in contact with her in person.
Neat. I want you to use these 3 words when you contact her about what we dealt with tonight. Sabat Zamisi Methuselah.
Oh, but that's certainly easy enough, I suppose.
This is all that shit? Okay, you're not gonna die. Good job.
None of us.
I realize I'm kind of minimalizing your situation a little bit, but considering what was just in my brain, I'm kind of over it. As far as I'm concerned. The best red Alistair that Camarilla has is a potential bullet that we can use. And we just might have to. This is high level shit that none of us need to be involved in. This is the kind of shit that sends princes shitting themselves and going into hiding. This is dumb. This is dumb. I don't know why Chicago. I don't know why it's all this fucked. But we're going to need all of the allies that we can get for this. Getting Prince Masters cranked up to another little rung in a social ladder. Okay, that's a fun little distraction, if you will, if you consider high level like immortal politics a distraction. None of it matters anything if we're all dead. This thing made it clear that it could rip something out of our souls if it wanted to. I've never even heard of that. And all these political games won't mean anything if we're all dead.
Well, assuming we survive tonight, I
Right. Thank
meet
you
with
for
her as soon as I
reminding me.
can.
Leans over, picks up his guitar case, and very, very stiffly, not really like himself, starts walking up to where Fee is supposed to be.
Mercy follows.
Fair. The 4 of you already at Nova do manage to get there rather quickly. To the point
Could
where
we wait until everybody's there?
You
Just
can.
so that we don't have to do this twice for
You
their
can.
sake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the Succubus Club and Nova aren't extraordinarily far apart. It would take maybe 10-15 minutes for you to cross the gap and get to.
Much to their owner's chagrin.
Yes.
Might have been a pressure point once or
Could
twice.
could have been a point of contention earlier in Maggie's time here. But
Let's
for the
catch up in
purposes
the elevator with Roland and Egret.
of that,
Mhm.
yes, you all gather, you all make your way up. Fee waits for you over by the familiar blood magic
Okay.
circle. However, it's different. Especially for Tony and Ygritte. 6. You all kind of feel this pulsing from it. You don't really know what it is. You just kind of are more in tune to that. Braggy, a little bit you too. There's something about this now that feels different. The air around it has changed. The way that it affects you when you get closer to it. Like you're more in tune with it. And Fee says, I think, and she's kind of studying it, looking at it. She's close to finishing it on her end. This is a one-way trip. Are you all ready?
Should we have grabbed a
Mostly.
musician for her as we go through? I don't like the limited options she'll have given our group.
Well, I took some liberty and prepared some blood for you all. I know that Maggie either can't or won't consume it from a bag, but I am aware that at least a couple of you play instruments, if you're willing.
Gonna
I've
be
done it
really
before.
weird blood bond chain. Doesn't matter. Fee, are you aware of where Maggie is right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and he'll lean back and kind of glance over at Roland, who has been texting him about this. Like, do you have your countermeasures ready?
Yeah. I mean, I have a thing that I can plug into computer there so I can get access to the system that gives me access to the PA system and Jumbotron. So,
Mm-hmm.
I can affect things that way.
Does anyone else have anything that they need to do before we go into a very hostile situation?
Fee's
Braggy
gonna.
will look over.
Fee was gonna look over at Bragg and go, "Are you sure you want to go? This is the kind of thing that, well, this," and she gestures at the large blood circle on the floor. This is something that few people have ever experienced. It's not like walking through a doorway. It's not like riding an elevator. The process is not comfortable. For the two young ones among you, I just want to make sure you're all aware of what you're literally stepping into.
Before we get to brass tacks on that part, Roland, Egret, I owe you both an apology.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it right now. We've got too much to deal with. Fee, we've also dealt with and gotten Portia's promises in order.
Promises for what?
That we spoke about last time.
She agreed to help the prince?
Yes. As long as Roland and I go into the labyrinth and find the chalice that we spoke about. If we survive this.
I'll prepare whatever I can to help you in that regard.
Appreciate it.
She looks to the rest of the group. That's what kept us away the rest of the evening.
Well,
Yeah, we got threatened by a 4th gen. Yay for us.
yeah, we had kind of the same evening. Also, see, I know you're about to do a very complex ritual. Can you, when you're done with that and we're not here and on the other side, can you look after Will?
I can.
So-
Everything okay
Something
with
going
Will?
on with Will?
No. So we just got a phone call from a very old Sabbat piece of shit in the form of a golem of dead animals.
Claymore's sire?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Right.
Will got pretty thoroughly dominated, and he's gonna need some looking at.
What did Sire want?
He got dominated to deliver messages. He's fine, but his brain is gonna be fucking Swiss cheese for a while.
Was he looking for Claymore like we thought?
Yep. And now it knows where Claymore is, and I don't think that's going to be very helpful.
Yeah, because we don't know where Claymore is.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, at least.
And apparently this thing thinks it's capable of pulling the Crusher's soul out of my eyeballs.
Is that
Possible? Never heard of it.
well? If it says it can, let's operate on that. It can. Do you think it's because of the blood bond they share with the Crusher?
I think it's because
that's a bot thing, right?
the Voldery.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
But as far as I'm concerned, this is a Sabbat piece of shit. And all they want is power. It is going about this in its own way of its own perverse sense of honor and justice, and none of it equates to what is today. And I think that we have a few too many legends walking around this city these nights, and we can do with a few less old ones and work on a few new ones.
Oh shit, let's fucking deal and hopefully get some of these people out of here.
My
But-
last concern, unrelated to what you've posed, is that given Lucin's visit and what we learned, or well, what I've guessed based upon it, showing my face here ruins that. And I would much rather be here and do this than worry about that, but I am concerned for how it changes the game.
I think this
Well-
is the end of the game here. I think when it's clear that it's not Fee and it's Magdalena in there. Oh no, the great betrayal is got. I think
I mean,
they'll know. And also, if we do it this way, not only will they know, but you'll be able to punch them in the face when they're not expecting it. You will have
Oh.
double advantage, as it were.
I mean, if you really that concerned about it, we can do the undercover thing and put a ski mask on you the entire time, and put on some baggy clothes so they can't tell it's you.
Yes, of course, the one masked person of our coterie who wasn't there certainly
Hey,
couldn't have been.
hey, I said you could mask. I didn't say anything
I mean,
else.
Well, I thought we were all going with masks. She pulls out hers because
Yeah, we
Red
have the
mist.
rebreathers. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, we could just, chop off your telltale hair. It'll grow back tomorrow.
I've done stranger things for less important missions.
On a slightly different note.
tattoos.
On a slightly different note, Braggy, I do not care what you have to say. Prove it. You have said so much. I don't want to hear you say it. Prove it. That is it. That is all I ever asked, is for you to prove it.
Action's better anyway, kid.
Words mean very little.
Why the first thing I did was text the coterie when I realized we had an intruder.
Okay,
I tried.
but this was a problem, your problem. And I believe I said you need to handle your problems. I am not here to handle your problems anymore.
Oh, I'm really seriously considering handling his problem.
Well, that's a you choice, and you're welcome to it. I've had enough Smeetsy in my shit. I've been here what, 3 years, and we've handled way too much Smeetsy bullshit. I've had enough.
At this juncture, if this fucking thing wants its kid's soul back,
I mean, they can go
I
and go
might
find
send
it.
it to meet him.
I mean, they could go try and find it. That'd be an interesting little concept there.
No, you're missing my implications.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear. I really have insulted a 4th gen of my own clan. My death wish is apparently really high tonight.
Oh yeah, no, he totally sassed Portia.
So I don't care.
Fee kind of speaks up at this minute, and she goes, I don't necessarily even want to know what the fuck is going on with everything. Samishi, Sabat, related, whatever the hell's going on.
You
Those in
forgot
your house
Methuselah.
I-
It's bad. It's stupid. Let's focus on the portal thing. Is she ready?
It
Is she ready?
It would appear that, at least from everything that I can tell, this is ready to go.
Well then, we're not waiting. So
Okay.
he'll look around to everybody, kind of swing the big base thing up on his back. Pull out his phone. Open the text chain that he has set up with
Mhm.
Carmine, Jue, and King Willie, and say, "We're going in now. Send." Puts the phone away.
Do we, Fee, do we know where we're going in at?
From what I can tell, it's underground.
Okay. He said no. Okay. It's fine. I'll have to make my way up.
Everybody stand on the circle, please.
While she's working, or God damn it, every time. Mercy will say, is there any way to brace ourselves for whatever this is going to feel like?
She kind of puts her hands, notably at this point too, you see Fee take off her gloves that she always
I hate
wears.
that.
And she puts her hands down into the blood on the floor. And she goes, without looking at you, but answering you, she goes, the most I can tell you is this has only been done once before. And when it was done, it was by Sabat. It's a thing they created and made, and I co-opted. So I think I'm very confident that I understand it, but I'm also very confident that it's going to be unpleasant.
Expect hell, possibly literal. And Tony kind of like hunkers down a little bit. And I'm not going to do it in this session because it looks like we're going to probably do this all next time. But it looks like he's just activating disciplines and getting really quiet and getting really like prepared to kill everything wherever they pop out.
Fair. Okay. If he goes, here we go. Remember, it's a one-way trip. Be safe. Oh, and she hands you the cooler with... Well,
Oof.
she hands you the cooler with 4 bags of blood.
Okay.
Has D6
D6
plus 3.
plus 3.
And poor roll on Fee's part. Short notice. Take this. Everything that you're not touching isn't going. Just so you know. And you all feel this sensation as it kind of creeps up your feet. You feel like you are being pulled, every little bit of you being pulled slowly. Similarly to, if you guys have done any sort of like reading up on astrophysics, how you would in a black hole, your feet, or however you were going at the black hole, would be pulled further, faster than the back of your head, as it would kind of stretch you out. You kind of get that sensation. This cold feeling of pulling downward, downward. Blackness encompasses all of your eyes. Everybody but Ygritte. Make 2 rouse checks.
Fuck.
Nice. Fuck.
Hmm.
Fun stuff.
Hmm.
You find your form, whatever spirit you are, whatever the beast is within you. That's what's traversing this gap.
Oh, neat.
You are pulled into this way.
So, may I pause you for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying we get to see what everybody's beasts look like?
You do. As your forms are kind of turned inside out in this way, in this place, in this sliver of space between realities. You're all free to explain what your beast would look like. However, 5 of you there don't see the 6th person. Ygritte,
Oh no.
you
Oh, here we fucking go.
if you scroll down in your compendium, your journal, all the way down near the bottom to the other spookies of Chicago, there is a face there now as this form stands before you. Hold on. Don't say anything yet.
Oh.
They can't see it. Only you can see it.
I checked. I can't see it.
Yeah.
This
How
creature,
did you pull that out of my fucking nightmares? Oh my god.
this creature, it kind of like creaks its head and looks at you and it goes, "Oh, I didn't think we'd meet so soon." And it's a very familiar voice that you've been hearing in your head for weeks now. And that's where we're going to end it.
Ah!
Fuck.
That's gonna be good.
Oh, god damn it. I'm gonna see that in my dreams tonight.
You're welcome. You can share it with everybody if you want to, but I thought I'd put it up to you first, just so you could get the benefit of it.
That's Roland's.
No. Well, I feel like this is something we should go into at the top of the next one.
Very much
Okay.
so. It's going to be a bit of a traversal as we get to where we're going on this highway to hell, which I'm not going to play because it will immediately get
Yeah.
flagged.
ACDC's really
They're litigious.
litigious. Litigious.
Oh.
But on that note, thank you all for playing. We may be off next week if I'm understanding our discussions. But when we return, there will be descriptions of the beasts within, as well
That'll be
as
fun.
conversations that will be had with one of you in a place that is very alien to every one of you. The fact that you are going through this is disorienting. It's very unpleasant. And hopefully you come out on the right end.
Maybe a question that's actually worth asking before we're done.
Absolutely.
Would Tony be unfamiliar with this? Is this like playing with Oblivion
That's-
stuff?
So that's a fun question. It's less Oblivion. There are
Okay,
hints of
That's
it.
all I need.
I will say, and I think that this is important to note for you,
Okay.
because you have touched that veil to some degree.
Mm.
This feels like the space between the space, more than a place in and of itself. You feel like you are being pulled through the veins, the arteries of whatever these spaces are that we consider reality,
Wild.
if that helps.
It does.
So, there's that. But yeah, thanks for playing, everybody. I missed you guys last week, and
We missed you too.
It's good to be back.
it's fun. It's fun to be back. But like I said, next week, probably off. Week after that, we will pick back up where we left off. Everybody gets your 2 XP for the game. However, there is no downtimes because we are picking up right where we leave off.
Very good.
But the XP is still gained. No downtimes this week, unfortunately, because again, sliding through the wrinkles of reality. But, you know, when we pick back up. Sorry for the nightmares, Ygritte. I've been sitting on that. I've been sitting on that picture for a while, like a long while.
I am gonna send it to the group chat, but I figured I would wait, give you all just a little bit of a warning.
I might know what this is. Maybe.
I'm concerned.
It's got a
Here it
name.
comes.
It's got a name for
I'm sure it
for
does.
Ygritte.
That is not what I thought I'd see.
Oh,
Yeah. And I will say,
I like it.
Ygritte,
It's not as
the
terrible as I thought it was.
It's not what I thought it'd be at all.
Grandma, what big
Bye,
teeth you
Rainer.
have.
true.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yep. True. On that fun note,